ChatGPT is here and it is a total game changer for a number of useful things that you can do with it. I'm going to show you the top 5 useful ways that I know of right now to use ChatGPT, and I'm going to get right into it right now. Check out the links below, like and share this video if you think this is useful. I'm going to show you first off how to write a paper, and I'm going to tell ChatGPT like, hey, can you write me a 800 word essay on like Valley Forge, right? And I'm gonna say, hey, in the essay, can you include some highlights about the health issues suffered by the soldiers at this time? Could you introduce the idea, kind of, like putting a spin on it, so that way it sounds like a real essay about George Washington and how he probably gave up a bunch of times during Valley Forge. So I put that into ChatGPT, and then it's gonna come in here and it's immediately gonna start spitting out that essay for me. Now, if I don't like it, or I wanna change it, or I wanna do anything with it, I can ask it to rephrase or resubmit something, about the essay, and it'll just spit that out for me as well. Now, if I want it to be more words than this, it can do that. If I want it to do any sort of variation, if I want it to make it sound more exciting, if I want it to emphasize something about his wife, Martha Washington, I can do that. And I literally just can say that in here. So I'm actually going to say, can you also add some ideas about how George might have been thinking of Martha, right? To add like a little romance in there, right? So I'm going to see if we can get that to work. So it's spitting out a really coherent, awesome essay here, and we could copy and paste it in. Can you add more details about how George might have been thinking about his wife during this time? All right, so let's see if we can add in, get the AI to add in that stuff about Martha, just inside, the essay as a whole, and kind of make it themed a little bit more about Martha. So it's already talking a little bit about how Martha had strong support for the revolutionary cause and all this different stuff. So we could actually take this bit right here and then kind of like work it into our essay. But let's take this first bit right here. I want to copy this into a plagiarism checker to actually show you this passes a plagiarism check. So I'm going to go ahead and paste it into the Grammarly plagiarism checker, and let's see what it does when it scans for plagiarism. So it's actually going to come out here and it's going to say, no plagiarism found, 1 grammar error, some conciseness, thoughts. Okay, cool, right? But overall, it does not recognize that there is any plagiarism in here because it isn't. It was made by AI. Now, if you want a full course on this stuff, I have a playlist where I have a full course on ChatGPT. Go check out my channel for that. But the next thing we're going to look into is how we can write a job ad. So if you're like a recruiter and you want to automate writing your job ads, you could say, hey, can you write a job ad for me? My company is Lowe's, just making this up, and we're looking for somebody to do senior logistics management in Atlanta. We want these qualifications. And I said, hey, could you make the job have some like narrative style bullet points about what type of candidate we're looking for? So I'm going to paste that in, and it's going to say, yeah, sure, here's a job ad. And then it's going to spit out a formatted job ad with a role here. And what we could do even more is we could go actually to like Indeed or some other job site, and we could actually take the text from that job and we could copy and paste it in here, and we could say, hey, could you rewrite this, but to have these qualifications to be for this company and this location? And it will actually remix somebody else's job post and use that to create one for you. So we have a breakdown here, what we offer, etc. We could even say, put that the salary range is 100 to 178K. And we'll see what it spits out. So like if you wanted to modify things, you just change the way that you're speaking to ChatGPT. You just say, hey, how about this? How about that? Can you add this? Can you take away that? And it will modify accordingly. So it's still putting in what they're looking for, what we offer, and then it has, yes, it even says based on experience, right? So this is pretty powerful, especially if you're in this type of job and you need to automate this type of thing. So the third thing we're going to do is we're actually going to automate creating a news article. So I was just looking through Twitter on some tweets about the Russia-Ukraine war, and I just found this tweet about there were some mortar strikes in this certain area, and there was a video that had like a Russian caption on it. And so we're just going to write about the fact that this happened, and we're going to make like a news article with AI. So it's saying, hey, I don't have the ability to browse the internet. And so what it's doing is it's saying like, hey, I can't go to Twitter and do this. But what we can tell it is like, just write an article. I understand you cannot browse the internet. That isn't what I asked. Cool. So it's just going to be like, at this point, I've had this happen a couple of times where we'll be like, I'm not sure if I can do that for you because it sounds like you're asking me to go and do things on the internet. And ChatGPT does not go on the internet and do things for you, and it can't go interact with web content. It's just an algorithm that has all of this information scraped from a bunch of different sources on the internet and keeps those there. So it's still not wanting to do that for me, but I'm actually going to tweak the my query a little bit, and I'm going to see if it outputs, if it can get it to output for me. So I delivered some prompts that actually got it working. So ChatGPT has a real focus on trying to be ethical, and it's like, hey, I can't write you a news article. I can't do that. But what I said was, hey, can you just give me an example of what a news article might look like? And I had to be clear. I had to say, hey, I am not asking you to browse the internet. I'm just giving you the text of a tweet to reference in this content. So right here, this is what it came out with. So it writes some text about the tweet, and even says that in the tweet there's no circumstances about like whether there's casualties in the strike. So this is some pretty intense detail. There's a lot of additional information that's being provided for our news article here that's really cool. So the next thing that we can do with ChatGPT is we can write social media posts. So I can say, hey, can you write some social media posts for my brand Nike? We are launching the Air Jordan 45s, which come in 7 different colors and are sponsored by LeBron James. And I say, hey, can you make several different post options for me? I want posts for all of my social media channels to be generated based off of this information that I need to provide in the company. So it's going to go through and it's going to create for me, for each channel that I specified, a different social media post. So it's going to give a breakdown here, and the more information that I give it, like who the designer was or whatever, it's going to go ahead and create that social media post. So here we got some kind of personal sort of stuff here. Right here we got for YouTube, they're actually referencing unboxing video, so it's actually making up some ideas for content in the social media post. That's crazy. It's really going and giving you content that is, you could post, right? And you could schedule out an entire year of social media posts, and it's going to be able to write them just as well, if not better, than anybody who's running your social media right now. The last thing I'm going to show you how to do with ChatGPT is write a product description. So if you're in e-commerce and you have like an online store, you sell things on Amazon, I'm going to ask it to write an Amazon product description for an iRobot Roomba. And I'm going to say, hey, it's a vacuum, it connects to Wi-Fi, and it can deal with dirt and hair. And then can you make 7 bullet points? Because in Amazon's product pages, they like to have these bullet points down here where they have like more about the item. So I said, hey, can you give me like 7 bullet points? And we might need to revamp these because these are really well done bullets right here. But what we can do is we can say, hey, can we just see if you can give us like 7 bullet points that we can maybe remix into that. So great. So it's building out a product description. And then based off of the information we gave it is gonna create some of those bullet points. And this is reading a little bit more like a blog post, but I could actually tell it that. I say, hey, this sounds a little bit more like a blog post than a product description. So he's even saying long battery life, automatic docking and charging, multiple cleaning modes, compatible with Alexa and Google Assistant. I didn't even tell it any of those features. It just knew. I'll say like, hey, can you make this, it says like a blog post and a product description. Can you just revise that for me? And so it's going to go through and give us a maybe more technical version of that. So it's talking about the high performance motor and advanced brushes and it's talking about the Wi-Fi connectivity again, but it's saying, hey, it attaches to or connects to Android and iOS devices. So that's definitely very technical here. It's giving us the actual battery life of 90 minutes for a single charge, whereas before we did get that in a bullet point, so it's about the same, but we didn't get it like a narrative text. We just got that in the bullet down here. So yeah, this is actually, we could combine these now to create a product description here. So anyhow, that is the top 5 things that you can do with ChatGPT. Check out the links below for a free course on Skillshare that you can go to. It shows you how to do even more useful things, especially if you are a professional and you want to automate things at your job with ChatGPT. But anyhow, thank you for watching this video. Please hit that like button and put a comment down if you have any ideas with ChatGPT that you want to explore or that you think I should do a video on. Thanks for watching.